All right, no matter what your age or your stage in life, you know people whine. They whine about the weather, the economy, the war, the upcoming elections, and even when you were a child, you know you probably whined about having to go to bed at a certain time or not having a certain toy you just had to play with. Well, we have the expert here with us today who deals with the complaints, the causes, and most important of all, the cures for whining. Her name is January Jones, and her book is entitled Thou Shalt Not Whine, the 11th Commandment. January, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Why do people whine?
Well, you know, there seems to be an epidemic going on. People are even whining about whining.
Okay.
Everyone wants to be heard. They have their complaints, and they need to get the attention, and they want to deal with it. And I've written my book. I've based it on a survey of the top 10 things that people whine about at all ages and all stages. And hopefully I'm trying to lighten things up. I'm applying a lot of common sense with humor and hope.
What are the top 10 things that people whine about? Because maybe what I whine about may not be what my neighbor is whining about, right?
I know. That was so interesting because when I started the survey, I thought, well, we'll just come up with 10 top things. Well, we came up with 10 top things for every age and every stage because everyone has a different agenda.
All right, let's go through this. Women.
Okay.
What do women whine about?
Well, they whine about their weight.
Absolutely.
Yes, and their hair.
Yeah.
And sometimes even their mother-in-laws.
Not the mother-in-laws.
Yes, once in a while.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
And men?
Men, they take on bigger topics. They're going after the government, the economy, world affairs, and interestingly enough, they do whine about their losing sports teams. If their team loses,
big deal to them, huh?
That's major, major loss.
So how do we stop the whining and start winning?
Well, what we try to do is we try to approach it with a positive way and put some humor into life and get people laughing about what they're doing and lighten things up. And I think you can always turn things around that way.
I think one of the interesting things about lightening things up is a lot of times we find ourselves in our own little shell and we think, listen, we're the only ones who are whining and who are complaining. But guess what? It reaches the realm of celebritydom as well, right? Because in your survey, you found that there were some pretty big celebrity whiners as well.
Yes, the number one, the king of whiners, came out to be Regis Philbin, of course, and he does that so well. And the queen of whiners was Joan Rivers.
Really?
And, yes, also Joey Behar from The View and Stephen Colbert from Comedy Central.
Isn't that interesting? So whining is across the board.
Yeah, all ages.
If people want to find out more about your book and more information on you, where can they do that, January?
www.januaryjones.com.
All right, well, very interesting stuff. We appreciate you. And I've got on my little no whining pen. These are wonderful pens. Very quickly, with about 10 seconds left, tell us about the pens.
It's a smiley whiny. When you're happy, you're a smiley. And if you whine, you turn it down and you're a whiny.
All right, we're not a whiny. We're smileys today. So.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, January.
You're welcome.
And up next, wash your car and don't use a single drop of water. What a green idea. Don't go away. We'll be right back.